Sometimes practitioners are really sincere, dedicated, honest, and really, really caring people, but they don't know anything about running a business. So I'm here to share my top 3 business lessons that I've learned as a practitioner. Jill Lee, founder and director of the Energy Healing Institute. If you'd like to learn more about energy healing, about online courses, about business consulting for people in the healing arts, check out energyhealinginstitute.org. Okay, 3 big lessons. First one is super simple, but made a huge difference in the overall growth of my practice. And I actually got this from corporate America because I was there before I was in the healing arts. What I learned was invite your client to book the next session at the end of the session they're currently in. In other words, if you just let them walk out the door or get off the call and you haven't booked the next session, you've lost an opportunity to solidify your calendar. And your calendar is where your income comes from. That was a really, really simple but really important lesson to learn, because there's this way in which practitioners feel they have to be nice and they have to be accommodating and they have to be not pushy. It is not pushy to say to someone who gets off of a table, "Wow, that was a really, really relaxing session. I feel so much better." "Oh, that's great. Would you like to book your next session now?" Nothing pushy about that. It's actually a kindness to let the client say, "Yeah, I'll have some more of that, please." So, big lesson, number 1, but simple lesson. Number 2, keep good notes. There's so many reasons that it's important to take good session notes. One of them is about legality. And this has never happened to me, but if a client were to issue a complaint and you had no session notes to say, "Yeah, that didn't happen," then it's your word against the client's, and you may not win. So keeping good session notes enables you to be on track with the legalities of running a practice. But beyond that, when you're tracking a case over time, it's really nice to look back through your notes and notice the progression. Because sometimes a client stalls. Sometimes a client is unable to see their own progression. And if I can flip back through my session notes and say, 6 months ago, you said this. And then 4 months ago, you reflected that it had changed to this. And in our last session, you said that you were seeing this entirely new way of engaging in that relationship. That's what session notes do for you. So I learned very early on, if I kept session notes, 1, I would never have to worry about compliance issues. 2, I could always track my client case and be able to reflect on their progress and help them see themselves more effectively. Third lesson. This also really came from corporate, but when I transferred it over into my healing practice, it had even more benefit for me. Your referral network is solid gold. When I had my practice in Boston back in the 2000s, the early 2000s, I had chiropractors, therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, nutritionists, body workers, fitness instructors, yoga instructors, craniosacral therapists, homeopaths, naturopaths, medical doctors. I had a referral network of 30, 40 people with whom I maintained solid relationships. It takes time to build that network. It takes time to maintain that network. And so I often would spend an extra day in Boston. That was a networking day, not necessarily finding new referral sources because I had a full roster within a year and a half. But keeping up with those people, catching up with them over a cup of tea or a lunch or meeting them after work, going for a walk. And always, always, always creating the relationship by referring someone to them that was a sweet spot client. So I would wait for a client to say something like, I'm looking for a really good yoga instructor who can help me work with my tight hips. I'd really like a one-on-one class. I don't want to go to group classes. Well, I had those people. So I could say, okay, I'm going to introduce you to so-and-so. And I would send an email to the two of them, introducing them to one another. I made a point to refer first so that they saw I was serious about being in connection with them and that I wasn't asking anything of them. I was asking to add them to my network so that I could round out my client's experience. The reciprocation on this was easy. Once I began referring, they referred back. So that was a very simple and very profitable thing for me to do, to have a expanded referral network where I could send my clients for ancillary services. Hope those ideas are helpful.